Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all everywhere. I'm Tanetta, and my testimony's a little late today. Today is Sunday, so happy Sunday. 4th of July is happening, so for happy 4th of July weekend, and enjoy your tomorrow. For those of you who still have to work tomorrow, um, just enjoy it and know that you're making more money on that day than you did on another day which other people are making. How about that? Anyway, so today I'm coming because um, I thought I was going to do something different, but I've got to be obedient to the Lord. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about what the title says, because honestly, I have no idea which way this is going to go. I do want to discuss about a few books that I'm reading or getting prepared to read. I did let you guys know about A Good Woman Can Find a Good Man, Get That Ring by Dion L. White. And I'm going to post all the books for Face Forward, but just I'm still reading this book. I haven't did any more commentaries at this time. It's not where I'm being led to go. Although some of the things that I am going to talk about really kind of hit some of these things. And so, but yeah, I'm not going to do a commentary on it right now, but I'm guessing that I probably will soon do a reflective piece on that. I also have the book I'll be getting ready to read. And my book is gonna shake. I'm gonna show them all, but I'm gonna show them face forward. But for now, I'm reading The Love She Most Desires, Love and Respect, the Respect He Desperately Needs, by Dr. Emerson and Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. It's a really good book. I'm gonna turn it around. It's a book on marriage, like keeping relationships together in marriage. I'm not married. I have been married, and I have screwed up 12 times. And so I couldn't say that I'm really reading this to perfect a marriage, but I am reading it to perfect me. I'm realizing there are relationship books that are very eye-opening, and we don't really understand people, and there's not a book for everyone. There's not one book that says, hey, this is it. But there are lots of things that we can identify even as being single, to kind of grow us in our stages in life. Another awesome author, pastor, is Jacqueline T. Flowers out of Houston, Woman Be Whole. I definitely love watching her son and his wife talk about relationships, but through that, I got to find out that his mom was phenomenal and her books are really great. And so I'll be finishing off this book. I do like to read lots of books, and so it will take me some time to get through things. I like to read multiple books at once, and they enlighten me that way. And then I found this little book at the Dollar Tree, actually, and it seems really, really interesting. I looked online and seen that it was online as well. So if you can grab this little piece of jewel at this great discounted rate for $1.25. Yeah, it's called Naked and Afraid, 5 Keys to Abandon Smallness, Overcome Criticism, and Be All You Are Meant to Be. And it's by Kevin Gerald. And I am going to turn them around. But yeah, that's going to be the last book that I kind of like really dive into. But I'm going to be hitting and missing while I'm going through everything. Right now, I am finishing off the Love Dare because the Lord told me to continue back and start where I was. That is giving me growth. It's not for relationships. It is for me. I'll be finishing off this, which pretty much I'll be rereading some things. And then I am getting ready to start this Faithfully hopefully with a partner, that we're just going to really go over things and kind of get some growth from it. So that would be great. And so I'm going to focus totally on the two of those. And then I will go from there and read this one and then read this one. All right, so I'm going to spread them out so you can kind of see what I got going on. And so here goes. So again, that's Dion L. White's Get the Ring. Love and Respect, Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. Woman Be Whole, and that is Jacqueline T. Flowers. She's pastor, I believe, pastor. And Naked and Afraid by Kevin Gerald. All right, and so I'm excited about that. I also have, if you have a way to contact me, please do so. My Instagram is Marie Tanetta, and my Facebook is Tanetta Marie. Yeah, so the email address is bemotivatedtm. It's BEMOTIVATED for Tanetta Marie at gmail.com. So yeah, I also I don't have a ministry per se, and that's not what I'm promoting. I'm on here because God is telling me to be obedient, and so I am doing so. So I definitely I'm not asking for donations of anything to support a ministry. I'm not going to get on here and fake the funk that that's what it is. So, but I do like to do little crafts and little things. I have my own businesses, and so I was talking to the Lord, and He did something phenomenal for me, and so I did something in return to remember Him. And I remembered, my ex-husband, when I wanted to have children, used to say, all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. And so here's my mustard seed in this bottle. It's like a note in a bottle. It has this little bitty tiny mustard seed in there. And then I did a bottle full of mustard seeds to remind me of this is all I need. And God blesses me abundantly. So the goal is to have so much faith that I can't count them. And so I'm working on that. If you want any of the bottles that I create, I can send them to you. And I'm just really excited about that. I don't know the shipping cost, but yeah, I have no idea. But this little bottle right here for my time and effort as well is $2 for the mustard seed. And if you want the bottle full of mustard seeds, it is $4 plus shipping and handling. So $2 and $4 plus shipping and handling. I will try to get the best deal that I possibly can, and if you're local, I will try to get them delivered to you or somewhere that I can deliver them to. Okay, just wanted to put that out there. I'm 8 minutes in, so let me get into what the Lord was talking to me about. So, God's been talking to me about a lot, and so the things that are happening, my testimony today is not going to be a testimony of some pain that's happened in my life that I've overcome, but just the things that are coming, that have been going on currently in my life. And I know there are a few people that I've talked to that are waiting for the domestic violence testimony. And so I will start that as I am led to, and it looks like it's coming up. I'm going to be doing a series of stories telling you the stories of things that have happened. So they're not necessarily going to be the testimony like where I've triumphed and where God pulled me out of it. It will just be the stories of what happened, and then encouraging those that are going through similar situations. And from there, I will move it into a live episode on the YouTube where we can talk about domestic violence and help support others going through things. I'm hoping to have somebody on that is a professional in the field, and so if not, maybe we can do a follow-up on that. But let's keep going because it's 10 minutes into the recording. And so just recently, Lord's been really dealing with me with a lot of things, and I am so pleased at what he's doing for me in my life. I haven't perfected anything yet, and as Paul says, I definitely die daily. And so I have a lot of bumps and scars to lick as I'm still taking this journey. But I am so grateful and so just blessed that God has just been like there for me, and like, yes, everything just, yeah. I just getting me through it, like loving me through it, and heightening up my gifts that he has given to me, and making room. Yeah, God's making room where those gifts are, right? And so I am just utterly in amazement and embracing the gifts that I have. Learning lots of things, and learning not to really throw those gifts out to swine, and really learning how to discern things that it may seem like I'm talking in riddles, but some things, people will understand. Some people will understand, and some people just won't get it. But you can't expose everything that you're doing. You can't throw everything that you have, out to swine. You just can't. You have to protect it. There are other things that I will stand boldly and firm and dare the devil to mess with me, because I know who's got me. But and not to say that nothing else, like I can't trust God on anything else. It's just I am being obedient on what to say and what not to say and how to say it, and I'm learning. Because God will tell me some stuff, and I'll be like, yes, and I'll be like, want to tell everybody. I want to tell everybody about my something that I've learned. And so I'm learning. I'm also learning to love myself in ways that I probably thought I did love myself, and yeah. But God is teaching me, and he's also teaching me how to I was reading a book not too long ago. I probably will dig back into it. And it was Rainey Howard, You Are Enough. And really good for the esteem and your self-confidence. And I remember reading where she was talking about how like people who are really optimistic, like people who people who have personalities, like for me, I know that I've been chosen by God. And so the world in the spiritual realm of the new age would call me an empath. And so in the biblical, I'm probably just discerning people in ways that I could feel them and pray for them and understand them, sometimes better than they understand themselves. But the weird thing is that I don't always understand me. I can't read me very well, and I guess that's a good thing. God needs me to be able to go to him and be able to embrace the vessels that he's sending my way. But she had said that when you're very optimistic and you tend to believe the good in people, like for me, I'm always looking for something good about somebody. It doesn't matter. I'm always looking for it. If I can't find something necessarily like good in their personality, their character, I'm always gonna look for something beautiful with them. Like, oh my gosh, they have the most beautiful eyes, or man, I like their texture of hair, or the color of their hair, or whatever. And so I'm always looking for something, just because God made us all like perfect, and there are always little diamonds, little sparkles in people that just amaze me. And I like the ones that are just less obvious. You know, when you get to talk to someone and you realize they have a small lisp, or that might be quite impressive actually in how they talk, or just some little quirky thing about them. So for me, I swallow a lot when I talk. Somebody might think it's cute. Okay, maybe not. I'm just saying. Now that I brought it to your attention, okay, forget that. Anyway, so Rainy Howard was talking about, how when sometimes when you're very positive about people, you're very optimistic, and you want to see the good, you tend to ignore their negative warnings and signs and traits. That is me. I so much want people to get, especially if I see their highest potential. I sometimes will, even as a life coach, because I'm not their life coach, I tend to want to skip the middle and be like, "Ooh, look at look at where they could be. Like, look at who they are." And so I think as a life coach, I'm more disciplined, because when I'm sitting down one-on-one with somebody, then I have to take the steps for them to see it. But when I'm not someone's life coach, or they're very intimate to me, their family, they're, my significant other, or whatever, it's different. So, I'm trying not to life coach them. I'm trying not to make them my clients. But I see the wonder. And it's weird, because it's really hard for me to find the wonder in me. And so I am so grateful that God is teaching me that. And so one of the things that I'm learning is like to accept my first understanding of something, my first aha of, oh, I get this, or I think that if it's a business deal and I go, I think this would be a really good investment. Excuse me. Not to second guess that, not to be indecisive, like I need to be, as a matter of fact, like, okay, now what's my next steps, and I tend to do that to people, and they'll show me exactly who they are, and because I want the grandeur of the good to outshine whatever they're going through, I'll justify it by rationalizing their pain, their past, their whatever. And it's weird, because I really don't do that a lot for myself. I will understand it and say, I know why I do this. What can I do to change it? But for others, I give the pass. I give a pass to them that is so grand that, it's a lot. And so I'm learning now to put those boundaries, making stronger boundaries, and making the limitations, I'm not extending them, where before I'd be like, oh, okay, let me give you 1 strike, 2 strike. Now there are things where I'm like, no, that's just not an option. And I'm learning that. And so a lot of this happened because, of course, things have been happening, and God's been showing me things. And I found that someone was really attacking my character. And I seen how important that was to me. And I realized in my past relationship how important that was to me, that I would argue like it was nobody's business, because it was like, wait, you can't say that about me. And something recently just came up, and someone's, we were talking and having a really good conversation. I'm really growing a lot, and I've actually learned to grow from him because of the past we had, and I'm now able to reflect and go, man, I did a lot of things wrong, and just downright wrong. Or I did a lot of things right, but I still handled it wrong, so it was wrong, and so accepting that has been great for me. I'm loving it, and he and I were talking, and he made a comment, and I made the comment, and we were talking about it, and he said, well, yeah, you did that to me, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, but never while we were together. This particular incident, that's not what happened. And the more that he kept pressing on and pressing on, it didn't really hurt the same like normally it would hurt. But it felt like, whoa, dude, you're attacking my integrity. Like, there are some things that I may cross the line with, but there are some moral scope of things that's, no, it's not even an option for me. And so when he kept saying it, I was like, no. And so we almost got to the point to agree to disagree. He was like, well, you know what? That's how I remember it. That's how you remember it. And it was like, ugh, I'm trying to learn how to let things go. But my integrity is outweighing this. And when he said, he was struggling with trust, it dawned on me that because of the lack of trust that you had, even in our relationship, I was good to you. And because of the lack of trust that you had, I remember feeling that I always felt like I had to prove something to him, because he wouldn't accept who I was. And when he made this comment, I was like, yo. And trying to get to the timeline of things, he made a comment saying, yeah, that was after you got this particular job and we didn't live together. And I was like, bingo, you're right. We didn't. So if we didn't, I didn't disrespect you in your house, And so it was something that I did that even though it wasn't in his house, I still felt like I was talking to other guys overseas to occupy my time. And so I didn't know how to deal with losing him. And so I didn't want to call him. So I thought, oh man, if I could just occupy my time. I didn't want to rebound in a relationship. I didn't want to move on. I wanted to get closer to God, but it was really difficult at the time. And I didn't want to make God my fall guy every single time either, although he doesn't mind, and he's proven that to me. But I did like, oh, I'll just get on this dating service, and it's long distance. So it's not like I'm going to meet these guys, whatever. When the conversations would become a little bit too much for me, too risky, or oh, I love you, I want to meet you, I would kind of pull out of these conversations with, yeah, I'm not over my ex yet, and so I said I was only looking for friendship and whatever. So just a little backstory. That's probably too much information. My minutes have went up, so let's just go past it. Nevertheless, he thought I did it while I was in that house with him. Got it, understood. And so when he said it, I was like, ooh, that would be past my moral belief system. My standards are higher than that. And so because of that, I don't need us to be on equal playing ground. If he did that in the house, whatever, I'm not sure. I don't need to be blamed for it because we need to be on the same equal ground. No, if you did something and if you did do that, I'd say he did do that. And what I did was responded wrong by moving out. Maybe that was my response to it. They're both equally wrong. They don't need to be on the same playing field, if that makes sense, right? If I hit the ball, doesn't mean he has to hit the ball and say, oh, we both hit the ball. If I jump, he doesn't have to say he jumped, or nor am I going to say, well, I jumped and you hit the ball, so they're not equal. No, we both did some things that weren't respectful to one another, but I think we held our own with having our stance of what, having integrity. And so for me, integrity is important. And I remember being called out when I was younger about something that had happened while I was in school, and I called in to let them know, like, hey, that's not what happened. Let's not blame this on me being sick. Let's blame this on the truth. I didn't come in for this particular reason. And went into the classroom, and the teacher said, I really want to give the class a representation of what integrity is. And at the time, I don't really think I understood the word integrity. And as she gave the definition, I have no idea who she's talking about. And she says, I have a lot of respect. And she mentions my name. It made me reflect on a lot of things in my life to go, man, I do have a lot of integrity. I do tell the truth. I will find the wallet on the ground and turn it in and give my name and say, hey, if nobody comes to claim that, call me. And I have done that, and I have been rewarded, and I have been rewarded with, hey, someone claimed it. Thank you for being a good Samaritan. And I'm grateful, because karma is real, and someone has done it for me as well. And so I definitely believe that God allows karma to happen. And so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And so I didn't recognize the extent of the word integrity until then. In fact, I probably never used it, heard it, and thought it meant something else, or, oh, it means the same as this, But it was at that moment that I really understood it, and I really took a lot of pride in reflecting in my past. And from that moment going, this is the way I want to continue my life. Have I crossed the lines on some of my standards and morals? Yes. But there are some things that are like, you never, like for me, I just feel like you can't come back from that. Or you probably can, because God is a forgiving God, but it's something you're going to have to live with. And how long is that going to take to heal? So when he said that I did this particular thing, I was like, like, yo, no. And so it really made me think and made me reflect. I'm sorry. I had a bloop bloop. Anyway, it really made me think and reflect on a lot of things that were going on, and what happened in that relationship, and what happened in other relationships. I also remember my ex-husband saying, oh, everybody's not a goody two-shoe like you, and whatever. And he would constantly say it, and I would say, stop putting me on this pedestal. I don't want to be on the pedestal. And I think that was the worst thing that ever happened, was like, I'm tired of being so good, and was set out to be bad. Changed my whole life. But nevertheless, but that thing I couldn't let go. And so as we talked, and he said, yeah, this is happening, and I was like, even if he never gets it, for me it was the validation of knowing, you know what, Tanetta, you don't have to prove this to him. If that's what he wants to believe, or it makes him feel better, or whatever, he's gotten it all twisted up because there was a lot of hurt and pain in the past. If that's where he is, um, just keep him in prayer and move forward with understanding. You understand your character. He used to say, you don't have to prove things to me, but yet there were consistencies of him not believing me. And it would really bother me a lot. And so now I'm in this space um, where there's an English proverb that says, a quiet conscience sleeps in thunder. And so I was like, you know what? I'm in a good space in that. And when I was praying about it, the Lord was like, this is what we're going to be talking about. Really? So, and not to out him at all. He's a phenomenal person. He's a phenomenal guy. And if God said that's who you're supposed to be with, I would definitely be like, okay, cool. I would probably have to have a little bit more conversation with God, but it wouldn't be one that I'd argue with God and go, look, dude, you know. So, because me and God, we know, we talk on that level, like on a whole lot of levels. But anyway, it was more about me to understand it and presenting it to you to go, you know what? Sometimes people are going to challenge you. And I read a quote, and it was from Albert Einstein. It says, try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. And I was like, that's phenomenal, because I am fighting to keep my integrity intact when God was saying it's already been there. And if someone misses it, he may have realized it down the road on his own. And if he never did, it would be his loss to not see the value of the valuable piece of jewelry that, you know, or jewelry or stone, like, you know, like a precious stone. That would be his loss of not understanding the precious stone that God gave him based on his own issues, not mine. And so I am okay with that now, realizing I don't have anything to prove. He was right even when the accusations came. I don't, because I have people who can vouch for who I am. In fact, there are a couple of people who have vouched to him in the past when we were like really mad, like that's not who she is. In fact, one of my old therapists was like, I don't think you know her that well, because that's not her personality. You know, she's very transparent, she's very open. So yeah, so anyway, there also was something that I read of a quote of B.C. Forbes. That's the founder of the Forbes magazine. And he said, integrity is the basis of all true blue success. And I pride myself on integrity. So I'm going to believe the same thing. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. I know who I am. And so if someone's doubting things that I never have to question, if I have consensus on who I am, I never have to question it. The haters that I have a cluster of them. They hang out in clusters, which tells me that if there's one bad apple, they're just rotting everything else. Like, people will see what you give them if they're weak-minded. And so if I have those clusters of haters that really honestly don't really know me, who cares? They hated Jesus and I'm far from him. So I'm in that space of who cares? So the bottom line is, who cares? If people are hating on you and talking about you and disrespecting you, they don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. They can tell you how to get to hell real fast by responding in the wrong ways. If they're genuinely trying to love on you and telling you things to kind of encourage you, to benefit you because they love you and they don't want to see your downfall, you might want to take some notes and say, how can I be a better me? But wow, I just I'm in so much awe of the growth that I'm learning. Even the peace, even with us last night trying to having this conversation, um, feeling like we're not gonna come to an agreement. My response a long time ago would have been, "Oh my gosh," and I would have like fussed and yelled and walked off, or been like, "Okay, well you can go now. See you later. Bye." I would have been so frustrated over trying to prove, because even afterwards he still was like, no, and I was like, no, that's what really happened. Like, think about what you said. I would have been able to handle that. So this is proof that God is good, and keep working the work. It works. You get to see it in the small things in life, and they become so grand. So I think that's all I want to talk about. And so, if my friend is watching this, the ex who is now we're friends, much respect to you, much respect. Your story, story for my presentation today, has nothing to do with you personally. It has everything to do with the growth that I'm going through and wanting to share that. You're a phenomenal person, and I wish nothing but the best for you. In fact, if people are hating on you and telling you that I'm doing a video like this, if God gave us an opportunity to do it over, I might just do it over. At this time, I think that I'm in a really great, healthy space and not wanting to do anything but heal properly in all aspects of my life, mind, body, soul, my spiritual walk, my everything. And so that is to you. And I hope you do the same. And are blessed with the happiness you deserve, even if it wasn't me. And so, if it's my haters watching, to God be the glory, and all prayers to Him about whatever you're going through in your life. My haters, I may not like you just as much as you don't like me. Mine's may be more so because I'm probably feeling like I don't understand why you don't. But because I can understand why I wouldn't like you. If you don't like me, then I'm responding to it. But at the end of the day, I still love you. I still care about you. I still keep you in my prayers. I definitely keep you in my prayers, and I'm being, as Rainey Howard said, I'm just being a little bit more cautious. I'm being a little bit more cautious about being so optimistic. So I've set limits and boundaries with, I can love you from afar, and I respect and love you, and continue to keep you in my prayers. To anybody struggling with, your own self-worth, your own values, what people are saying about you, get back into that self-confidence, learn who you are, and if you can't find it, find God. Find God, because He definitely will show you. Some good books, some good encouraging self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect books. That's why I share the books. that I'm reading. Audio, listen to them on audio. Some of them are free on YouTube. Listen to them. Find some positive person. Hire me as a life coach. I'm just saying. Hire me as a life coach. The best coaches, the best therapists, the best everybody that you can hire are the people who've gone through so many mistakes that they finally figured out their way wasn't the right way. So that way they'll never give you that bad advice. Although there are great people who have been successful at things that will give you wonderful advice. So I'm not knocking people who are successful in whatever they're doing. I'm just letting you know that people who have not been successful can give you advice on what not to do. And so I tend to give you advice on what not to do because of the things that I've learned, and then some of the things that I've done wrong and now that I'm doing correctly, and have succeeded at it. Because everything, love may not be one of them, but there are other things I am excellent at. And so I definitely know how to get things back in order and how to help organize someone else's life. You know how you don't clean up your own house, but you can go over somebody else's house and clean it and be like, why can't I clean my house like that? I can clean your house, not your physical house, but your makeup, your persona, the person you are. I can't give you the very essence, but I can definitely show you how to empower yourself, encourage yourself, motivate yourself, and get you to that space you need to be. So again, if you need a life coach, I'm definitely here. I'm always going to be reasonable, and I'm always going to have compassion. So much love to you all. I wish you the best, and thank you for listening to my long spiel, whatever. So I love you most. Bye.